You were talking about one plant around, you know, say yes. Plant around. I got them the. I don't think I ever got that. Maybe, we'll have to look at it.
I think it's just.
Yeah, I can hear the sheriff's report. Oh, man, yeah, they got it either.
It's a, probably anything, we can get a lot of things. Yeah. On a cherry jam. Oh, I think it's yes.
All right, let's call the meeting to order. Or please silence your phones or whatever little devices you might have in the front. And we'll do a quick pledge of allegiance. Yeah. All right. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible.
Heavenly Father, we come before you tonight asking, Lord, that you be with us in this meeting, that you guide us, give us wisdom, direct us in the business of the township, Lord, that we could do as much as we can to bless our community and to honor you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
All right, thanks everybody for coming out. Such a beautiful day.
Got one Johnson.
Yeah, is anybody too cold? I turned it on not too long ago, so I was kind of a weird. Yeah. All right. You made the roll.
Oh, sorry. All right.
Michelle Jackson. Christine Johnson here, Jim LeFew.
Here.
And David Foss here, Bob Underhill absent.
He is in Colorado. Was there any disclosure of conflicts this evening?
None.
No. Okay, all right. I have none either. Okay, we got a relatively smooth looking agenda today. We wrote it, so I'll go ahead and make the motion, we approve it. And if there's any modifications, we'll have it done.
I'll second that.
All those in favor? Aye. All right. Public comment. That was easy. Any public comment? Yes, ma'am.
The only thing that I remember from prior meetings is about public access for the kayaks.
Okay.
And I guess over the fourth, there was a young couple that lives here that went to take their kids in those 90-degree days over there. And then he posted on Facebook how angry he was because they were parked in the access, couldn't get it in there. And
Yeah, I could see some tire tracks. Somebody like backed right down to the water to launch something, but
yeah, I don't know
These
if
were-
anybody's monitoring it or not.
yeah, John and I have both been quite, in fact, the first day that the Facebook posts started showing up negatively,
Yeah.
I went down to Grand Valley Marine and they had only rented 6 kayaks for the whole day, so.
Well, I just wanted to bring that to your attention.
Okay, yeah, and I did see those tracks. Somebody did back down to the water, but.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else have anything they'd like to get off their chest? Okay,
Yay.
we have no guests to report. I guess with no sheriff's contract, we don't get a deputy to tell us what's going on, so. I'm very dissatisfied with Kalkaska Sheriff's Office. I send them information all the time. I will say this, Patrick Whiteford did tell me after literally a week straight of me sending him texts about the hot rodding and the wheelies and the burnouts and all that. He did tell me that he was gonna send his traffic vehicle. I guess they have one traffic enforcement vehicle that roams the whole county. And he told me he would have him focus down here for a few days and see if we can get some control on what's going on. But other than that, you know, we don't have a contract with the sheriff right now. I think most people know that I'm not necessarily opposed to that. I think we get some value from it. It's mixed feelings all the way around, but.
They do post incident report on Facebook,
Yeah.
and I have shared that in the past. I could print that probably and
Well, generally they send
Have
us
it
a
for us.
report, but I did not get one this month. so.
no, we haven't gotten one for a couple of months, I don't think.
All right, well, I would encourage anybody that sees that kind of activity to call them anyway. I mean, make them put it in their report. Every time you call, they have to log us that was done. So if we're calling all the time and they do nothing, I think that gives us some ammunition at the Board of Commissioners. Or,
Yeah, Jim, you know, I watched the police officers walk right by the cars parked in front of the no parking sign.
isn't that something?
And I've said something to 3 of them within like 20 minutes, and they refuse to write a ticket. They just go, somebody else will handle that. They walk away. Right underneath the no parking sign.
Mhm.
And they were double parked the other day. The beer truck was parked out in Crystal Beach Road.
At
We had
Fabiano's or?
Totally blocked off our driveway, everything, and he was double parked, or somebody else was parked right in front of the no parking sign. So, yeah, down one night.
Millions of tickets a day are given out for the county. Is it our best interest to look at the technologies of, as simply they know that 35-mile-an-hour?
We don't have the ability to write tickets. We don't have a law enforcement officer, so how would a camera?
You don't need the officer to find the violation. What do we do with a good violation? A camera and a speedometer linked to that camera gives out millions of tickets. You could be on the interstate in New Jersey, cruising along, next thing you know, you get a ticket in the mail for $125 a week. No interaction, and they're trying to do that even more and more around a lot of the country, in the big places. But here, those things are pretty accurate, and some of these motorcycle guys, I don't know if I mentioned it to you. I've seen them come blasting through.
Mhm.
I get to Calcasas, got to the Shell station, heard them boasting about, yeah, it's cool, you go through Rapid City, man, you do it $1.25 and that thing tells you. So they're doing it like baseball kids wants to know how fast he's throwing his ball. Some of them are just knuckleheads locally that are doing things. A couple of tickets, a ticket here and there, and then they'll stop and say, how'd I get caught? So maybe just to look into the technology of that, what can we legally do with the violation that we caught on camera? There you are. Doing 80 miles an hour down Rapid City Road.
Not to hold up public comment here, but I thought of just setting a camera up and just do like a 24-hour period on Rapid City Road and try to, you know, identify however many violations there are or
That would be an
something.
incentive.
Yeah,
Do like Crystal Beach, you only got a big flash in there.
No.
yes, sir.
I don't know this, but I find that comment very interesting, and I wonder if there's an independent contractor that will supply the equipment, put cameras in place, send out the tickets, and take 80% or something like that. I mean, what would we care? You know,
Well, to stop the violations is to get a young man to change his ways. These are young kids, blast through. I'm out there watering the plants with Dave. We see out in front of BP. Young kids just getting their rocks on. Our neighbors, you know, maybe a ticket or two in the mail, and Calcasas should be happy to buy that
Telephone over
for his public safety.
Okay, any other public comment?
Post reports, you already passed.
Is that on in?
No.
We have some minutes to approve. Okay, June 19th.
I never got emailed to everybody, I think they got put in the packet.
He didn't.
There's copies on the pages.
I'm sure over there. Okay, has everybody looked at that in the email minutes?
They didn't get in the packet.
Just enough. Okay, I have myself already read these, and I'll make a motion to approve. There's one thing for questions. Just one thing I'm recalling on the June 19th here, when we talked about the permit for the launching of kayak, Grand Valley Marine paid $500. So everybody knows that the
Trial basis.
trial basis, yes, sir. This summer is a trial basis. That's what it said right on their permit.
That's why I thought I'd might bring it up.
So feedback at some point would be good. All right, anybody want to second these minutes? Okay, all those in favor?
All right.
Aye. Okay, moving right along. Brings us to the treasury report.
And I balanced with the. What? And then, the other thing was the motion to approve the, draft of, employment offer letter for the vote. It's, one that offer letter, we haven't made any offers, but we would had it so that when we do, we have it. So I did a motion that we approve that. Agreed,
The wording.
yes.
I have
I will second that.
a little question on that, but. Okay, on the motion to approve the offer of employment for a part-time municipal maintenance worker, we're just approving the wording of the offer. For those that may not know, we're offering $21 as a starting salary. We're gonna do a 90-day probation period, or just a kind of see how things work. We'll discuss raises after that, but we're gonna start at 21. So, okay, all those in favor?
We'll do it in both, three units after that.
Yes,
And
yes.
we'll do it in seven.
How many hours a week?
It's up to 32 hours a week as needed.
What do you do?
Up
Up
to.
to,
Up to.
Is there a job description on that?
for the maintenance worker?
Yes.
Yes.
Online? Okay, thanks.
Well,
I'm not sure
it's
that was
online.
posted.
Yeah.
It's posted? Okay.
I'm not sure.
I apologize for our condition of our website. I really have a hard time with it myself. We're working on it. We're just trying to get to everything at once here, and sometimes things are a little slower, but we are on it. It's not something that we don't know. All right, so on approval of the employment offer wording, all those in favor?
I,
No. Okay. Motion
So-
so carries, but
So the record doesn't reflect his vote. All opposed, same sign. You oppose, sir? Excuse me, Mr. Chair.
I think it's a legitimate question, but a vote or an abstention.
But
would
we're
be-
beyond the public comment.
I understand that,
Okay.
but it's still a point of order. And
So
I think
I'm
it's
a no.
okay. Thank you. Motion carries. May I ask what your objection to it is?
I'd rather not comment at this time.
did you want the minutes to reflect your vote?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll do that as a roll call.
Okay. We already have that. 3-1. Okay. All right, then the Plant Moran.
Yeah, so I wanted us to be able to, also vote on the motion to be able to approve, working with Plant Moran I provided everybody on the board a copy of their proposal, the bucket list, and we went over it, amongst us, but this is also available, so they're going to have two buckets. One is going to work on our, accounts and the integration with the SNA and, our budget, and then the other will work on policies. So our financial policies, to get all of the books in order for the township. So the state of Michigan, the Treasury Department, they're going to fast track this so that we have it in place before the SNA is implemented. And it also, the meeting with the proposal is based on the approval from the state of Michigan, who has given us a verbal that they have to go through their process, but they did say that they would fast track it. So before, we're up and running with BSNA, all of our ledgers are clean and up to date and are, not backtracking on what we have now. And they also are operating, they're able to help us because they work with other townships on the integration with BSNA. So if we have questions, they can kind of like handle this and talk us through the process, which is really good. They also put a not to exceed in their proposal, so it's contingent upon state of Michigan's approval and also a not to exceed. So if they come in, it's not as much work, they won't utilize as much money. If it's more work, they're not gonna go over what they proposed to us. So, I would like to make the motion that we approve so that we can get it fast tracked because we have, the SNA coming up.
August 20th, yeah.
Yes, yes, so.
So is your motion to approve all three phases in
Yes.
their scope of service?
Yes. And that's contingent upon the state.
Right.
Okay, so if that was a motion that you made, I'll go ahead and second it. This isn't cheap stuff either. We're thankful for the state for helping us out with this. And I don't think any of us are accountants or, wizards with numbers and that, but this new software, this BSA software, for what I'm seeing, it's gonna really be an asset to us. We'll be able to look across all our platforms, see where all our money is and, move it when we need to, so I'm
And
completely in
one,
favor of it. Yes.
one person's a which is really nice.
If there is any additional, comment from the board before we vote on whether or not to move forward with this? No? All right, well then,
I think that would be a roll call vote.
a roll call vote is good.
Whatever you want me to.
I made the motion already, so I don't know who seconded it.
Michelle made the
Oh,
motion.
Michelle made the most, I
You
said.
seconded it. So
Sorry.
roll call vote, Michelle Jackson,
Yes.
Johnson is yes, LaView
Yes.
and Cos,
Yes.
no opposed.
And then I think that Rand will just require that the supervisor sign
Yep, that's on
and
that.
forward that to them. And, then they can get the ball rolling with the state, which we've already given them.
So they will go
permission.
directly to the state?
Yes,
Awesome.
I already gave them permission to our contacts there before they did it. They're all on the same page.
Just one other quick thing, since we're sharing information today.
Sure.
We've had several like webinars or on Zoom meetings with some of these state officials already, so we kind of got a little kind of rapport going. So really, at least I feel, they're really trying to help us rather than, chastise us and that kind of thing. But yes, so I'm grateful. All right, well, then I guess we're up to the clerk's report, Peter. I'll through that.
All right, the clerk reconciles with the bank and balances with the treasurer. And I provided for you the check detail report. There are a couple of things on there. One is, the first one on page 1, check number 1054. That is from Parks and Rec for Gamogers. There was a additional cost
because of the 4th of July,
Yes.
with the added.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Generally, they, add 4 additional porta potties to the Lake Street access. They were a little late in getting the request to me. And, I know I don't have authority to authorize more than $1,000, isn't that what it is?
yeah.
So I went with 2 instead of 4 to keep it under the $1,000, so, they gave us 2 extra ones for a week, and I think they serviced them daily, but, it was still probably not enough.
And please, what was that amount again that come on first?
$1,020. That is the cost.
That's for all of the porta potties.
Yeah, that's for all the parks and for down at 4th of July. So because it's more than $1,000, I would like a motion to approve that payment.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Let's see. There's the second is Jackson. And then next is on page 7, ACI. They billed us for the tax statements and the newsletter and the postage. Altogether, $2,951.89.
And this was for the printing and mailing of all our tax bills.
Yes.
And the newsletter, to that class meeting.
Doesn't seem like they charge us enough.
They,
Well, it's 78 cents a letter. There's 2,500 letters.
and we get a discount through them.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't think it's better.
I don't think that includes, the letters, the newsletter yet, cause we didn't have that in our,
It said newsletter on the bill.
really, did it?
Yeah.
Because you gave us the price when we approved that and what it was going to be approximately.
And I added the newsletter that time?
Mhm. Good, you didn't even know it. And we approved it.
All right, well, I'll make a motion that we, go ahead. And
Okay, then.
pay this, yes.
I second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Alright. That is the case. Next page, page 8, we have another invoice for BSNA. This one is, I looked at it to make sure I knew what it was and brought it with me so that I could talk about it. What this is the transition from .NET to cloud. And so what they did is they billed us for cloud service. And then they credited us for what we had already paid for .NET service. So it's for assessing and for tax. That's the only two. And the total amount of the bill is $4,766.
Which one is that?
BSNA.
Check numbers.
That is check number 27948. I'll show you that. I don't need to see that.
Okay, thank you.
So it's $3,940 for assessing service, for cloud service. And then, $2,755 for tax cloud service. And then both of them credited up almost $1,000.
For each.
Yep.
Nice. For those of you that may not know, we can now pay our taxes online.
So I remember. Oh, yeah, so, I will make the motion that we approve that BSNA payment.
And I second it.
But we already did, but all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
That was the last one, double check, yeah, the rest was fire department. So the last would be a motion to approve all of the post audit payments.
And I will second that. Do we need a roll call for that, or is that?
No,
That's
just,
a fair amount of money, so.
well, okay, roll call
That's
vote.
okay.
Jackson,
Yes.
Johnson, yes, LaFew?
Yes.
And Cross?
Yeah.
All right. What is it for text for approval? We're on track for the election. There is one thing that I need to make the board aware of and, figure out how to handle this. When I was appointed as clerk back when, Melinda Bowie resigned, I didn't know anything about the job, obviously, so, I just did what I was told to do, and one of the things that came across my desk was a refund check from unemployment insurance agency. And I didn't know why we were getting a refund check from them. They sent a paper saying, you have a credit, what do you want us to do with this money? I didn't know what to do with it, so they just ended up sending us a check and we deposited it. Turns out that there is unemployment insurance agency reporting that Melinda stopped doing right after she was elected. She never reported how many employees the township had and what we paid in wages to unemployment insurance agency. So they ended up closing our account. So the township has no unemployment account right now. When I called them, I talked to them twice. Once they said, well, you just need to go in and reactivate your account. But I couldn't find anywhere on there to do that, so I called them again, and the next time I talked to them, they said, oh, you have to start a whole new account. And I was like, oh, how do I do that? I don't know how to do that. And it's been a lot of time for me to try to figure it out, but in the middle of trying to do everything else, it was always on the back burner, and I didn't realize how important or serious it was until the conversion to BSNA. They started asking, okay, how do you do your reports for unemployment? And I was like, reports? We're supposed to do reports? So yes, we are supposed to do reports. We do not have an account. I have to reestablish an account. I don't know where to get all the information to do that. I've never done that before. So it's gonna be a
There's
little
gonna
bit
be
more time to
penalties
try to
too.
figure it out.
There's gonna be penalties too,
Very possibly.
definitely.
Yes, Andy?
Oh,
Mute D.
sorry, I thought she was gonna say something. So
Okay.
just wanted you to be aware that's an issue that I'm dealing with, and I don't know where it's gonna go. So between payroll taxes that Melinda messed up on and unemployment insurance, she left us in a.
When do these penalties take effect and how, when can you run?
We don't know yet.
We don't.
This is new violation?
Yeah, and we are able to negotiate with these agents.
Yes, and the state will probably help us with
Yeah,
that.
I think like a slide is going to get out of court, who knows?
All right, let's move on here. Well, if you.
Yeah, that was it, that was it.
Working with the auditor on the payroll tax, so is he also aware of this one as well?
No, I don't know. I don't know if he would know how to handle that or not, maybe he would.
Well, I mean, I'm sure I maybe, so, yeah, he's in the process of setting it up, and he talked to us about negotiating like some of those penalties and fees on the
Yeah.
payroll tax part. I'm wondering if everybody wants to help us on the employment insurance league day.
Tyler will be here the 18th and 19th,
Yes, so definitely should.
2024, 2025
18,
budget.
19, 20th, and are we busy on the 20th?
Yes, 20th, yeah.
We can't do two things at once. Is BSNA gonna be here that whole day?
Tyler said 2 days, he scheduled the third day.
Tyler's coming before BSNA comes.
But I have BSNA on the 20th or something.
That's just the go live date.
That's what I had asked. I thought that.
Yeah, oh yeah, I saw your
That's
email.
why I said I
didn't
didn't
answer.
know.
Sorry, no, the next week is when they're
I
fine.
can't imagine both here at the same time.
Okay.
I think that's it for the board.
Good.
If I think of anything else, I'll tell you over.
Mhm. We'll move on to our written reports and, Mr. Derek, you're up.
I'm on.
Oh, there you
Hello, everybody. Fire department, kind of a short report, but the fire department responded to 27 incidents, last month in June. We did 3 trainings, with station 2200. We hold those every second, third, fourth day of the month. First part of the first one day is kind of like a business association. Is what we do at the station. So we do a fair amount of training, you know, run volumes up, it's, you know, summertime again, so that is expected. Wasn't too bad at 4th of July, but there was an uptick in running. So, the item we'll add for word was the Rapid River contract, which was paid last year. So they were proactive and sent us a new contract, except they kind of made a in adding, full swing Excelsior Fire Department for the contract. So I was kindly enough to redo one, but they've already signed this one, so it'd be a couple months lapse or whatever with the contract, but you can take a look at this one. The one that's clipped is the one they provided.
Okay.
This loose one is the one I wrote. So. If there's anything you wanna add to it, we can certainly add it.
They had reduced the price, did you leave it reduced?
Yeah, it was, you know, we did the calculations on the sections that we covered. And then I told them, I say, if you find any discrepancy, you know, certainly readjust it. You know, and it will be adjusted, Bud and I talked about it, adjusting for what our taxpayers pay for the increase in taxes that we're probably gonna face every year for quite a long time. Just because of property value increases, so it will reflect that too, so we're trying to be even across the board, they pay the same amount as our taxpayers. For our township.
I'm still open to go for like second
Yeah.
Tuesday Rapid River meeting.
Yeah.
Give me some.
And I sent him, you know, he did the newsletter and I kind of, what I put on there, I kind of sent them newsletter geared toward, you know, it was the same newsletter, but I just had changed a few things about run volume that I responded to, that we responded to the township, you know. I'm trying to do some more stuff for him.
I've already seen this contract and I do trust Derek, yeah. So I would say that we could go ahead and vote on that now. But I don't know about David and Michelle because you haven't had a chance to see this contract. Do you?
It's virtually identical to last year's, what I could say. I don't know if we have to look at it.
Otherwise, we have to wait a whole nother month to vote on it.
True.
Then the only other thing I had was with the checks with our account at Alden. I know we do payroll one week or every month. And we didn't have checks. So I just kind of wanted to get that solidified. If we're changing bank accounts, or it's just what I was told. So I don't want to tell my guys we're getting paid and then they don't get a paycheck. So.
At this point, when talking with Plant Moran, they recommended one thing.
Okay.
Really?
For payroll or for all of them?
Yeah, for all of our accounts, they recommended one thing.
Plus Michigan class.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so we're not going over the 250,000, we're investing this year in class and anything over that.
So
So I think that's
considering
the goal.
moving the fire fund to,
I would suggest that we move everything separately, because that would be my suggestion,
No, this.
and I can move it,
This is such one.
Are you making a motion?
I'm making a motion for it.
We're on the fire department contract first, so we can do that. after.
Yeah, well, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be today, but I mean, that's the goal with working with Clearwater. If we wanna wait working with them, which means you might have to consider.
Yeah, you already have the authority, so you don't need a board, don't need to do that. You
Yes.
just need to know so we can order checks.
Well, I was gonna say, if you wanted to order a supply, I'm gonna go off the recommendation of my, based on just a one year. So my preference would be to go with them, and they're the easiest to deal with, and they accept our resolution. So that's my.
You just spend that count down and then when it gets to minimal. Do that, or is this something we would take all of our money at once, because I can see that might be a problem.
Right, because there's gonna be checks that hasn't cleared, so
Correct.
we're gonna have to leave some money until those checks.
Yes,
clear.
yes.
So I don't think it's gonna be hard for me foods. But I definitely, that's the goal. We're better.
Spend
Well,
that.
we can
count
go.
down.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Dee.
We can start with the new taxes coming in, we can start putting them in, we can open up those accounts and then the new taxes. And then whatever's in the bank right now, leave it there, let it fade out. So we can go ahead and order checks and any of the new,
A small amount.
yeah, the new village stuff that comes in. We'll put in Huntington.
Okay.
And Huntington has their own investment as well in like Michigan class. So if we wanted to split that, I kind of like Michigan.
But isn't it because it's in the same bank, still under the same,
No, when you invest it like that, it's not under the FDIC thing.
is it easily accessible, as easy as Michigan class?
It's exactly like Michigan class. It's each day, you know, if you want to take it out, if you don't want to put it back. I mean,
No penalties or nothing?
No, implant Maria recommended Michigan class.
I like Michigan class.
Yeah.
Have you had a chance to look at that contract at all?
We're good.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to approve the 2025 fire department contract with Rapid River. 25, 26, yeah. April 1st. The same as fiscal year.
June 30th, July 1st.
Okay, okay. So just recently expired.
They did, yeah,
They-
they were, yeah, they did.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they paid right at the end
They
of the
did, yeah.
contract.
They waited.
Yeah.
I give them some crap about that, I want you to know.
Not fast.
And then the new contract, they've ordered quarterly payments, so I think that's
I think it was before, but it just wasn't.
enforced or something.
Yeah, they put quarterly payments on it, but they did put 4 quarterly payments, so I haven't had it before. So.
Okay. We should have identified the dates that those were all due.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could have went. Had a little bit, yeah.
I will make that motion.
Oh, okay, I'll second it then.
Anybody else have any questions for the fire department?
Roll call that.
Yes.
Thanks for all you do.
Okay.
Roll call vote, Jackson,
Yes. Did you put it right, Frank?
Johnson, yes. With you,
Yes,
thank
Yes.
us.
Yes. Did you do that? Yeah.
Derek,
That's everything.
do you need these back then, or?
Well, you guys just have to sign them.
Yeah.
So there's signatures on the back here.
Okay. Yes.
Yep.
Office.
Yeah, so there's signatures here.
We may have to sign it as well.
Yeah, I might have to sign over there as well.
Well, second.
Yeah.
So Rapid River has no fire department. So they contract with Kalkaska Township and us, we take a portion of their township and Kalkaska does the rest. And they pay us exactly the same millage amount that we collect from the Rapid or Clearwater Township people. And it was like $24,900 or something like that.
Last year.
Wait, nobody else has to send that.
Keep that in one.
Yes.
Keep that, sign it out.
Yeah, I'll just leave that. Good. That's good. Thank you, Derek. If we have,
You know, Don, this
We've all signed it, yeah.
Okay, I can get it sent over. I'll scan it in and get it sent over to them.
That's fine.
And then they'll have to re-sign it.
We'll go to the meeting and
Yeah.
we'll bring it back.
Yeah, we could do that.
One question for the chief.
Yeah.
For years, they weren't quite up to that par, then we implemented it years ago to bring them up to the same as landowner in Clearwater. Due to the extra costs that are not seeing, if we could contract the fire department to do our job for that, that would be amazing. So I truly believe next year, there should be some form of increment above what the landowners pay here, due to the fact, if you look at all the other costs to run this department,
Right.
they are getting away dirt cheap.
Well, no, yeah.
Dirt cheap.
Yeah, I mean, whatever the taxpayers pay, I thought it was fair because they're paying the fire village, it's just like.
Yeah.
Clearwater Township tax.
That's what we've done for a few years and it works.
Right.
But what is Station 7? I don't wanna get in it now, but you know what Station 7 charges them per call and they.
Well, they're on a contract now. I don't know what that amount
Yeah,
is.
but we really need to look at that because of the extra costs that are hidden.
Yeah.
That we spend as landowners and burn up our dollar figure.
But it's the same money, and that's the way I explained it to them, they balked at it. And I had explained to them like.
Well, it's been
Look,
explained to them.
You're just an extension of Clearwater
Yeah.
Township now in the fire department. Yeah. And if my rig goes over there and the engine blows, or
Yeah.
it's in Clearwater Township, it doesn't matter. It needs to get fixed either way, but you need to pay the same amount our taxpayers pay.
Right.
Just one quick other observation. When you go out on a call there, you're already driving 6 miles before you even,
And it's true, yeah.
so there's an additional 6 miles to
Yeah.
every run.
Yeah,
It's a rapid river run, so that may be something we could hit them up with.
yeah, it's true. We can take a look at it.
Yeah,
I'll-
absolutely. For next year, just food for thought. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Daryl. Mr. Packer, you are up.
All right. We've been busy. You got a written report, I think, that this, we had a meeting last night, so I put an update from last night's meeting about it, man. And, so going back to the first order of business that you should probably be dealing with, from our perspective would be that in June, we had a rezoning request from the Gaylords. And that was sent to the Calcasieu County Planning Commission for a 30-day review. And that period has expired with no response from them. So,
So we need to deny it.
you should, that was the recommendation from the planning commission, was to deny it, rezoning request. And you should have, from Chris, the secretary, there should have been a form from probably back shortly after that June meeting. He should have sent you like a memo.
Okay, yes,
Regarding that.
I have it right here.
Back.
This is on here again. I don't have Gaylord's yet.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have it with me, I do have. it.
Yeah. But that's one that probably should be acted on
Mhm.
pretty soon.
Just one little comment on that, the Gaylords, were kind enough to, Dan and I went on probably an hour-long cruise with them, toured their whole property. We actually went out and looked at the antenna that's up there, the tower, and we went to every building location on the property, and everywhere we wanted to go, they allowed us to look, so. I would say that, at least in my opinion, that the actual area that they're trying to create this, campground or RV park place or whatever, was relatively small to what we viewed, and I don't know that it could be, denied that that would make a good campground, because everywhere you look there, it's space and it's woods and, so.
And we all talked about that, even I think the zoning administrator was involved with that too, that it wasn't denied because the reason it was denied is because they didn't bring any proposal to us, other than that they just wanted it rezoned. And that's not typically a good reason just to rezone the property on an owner's request. Usually they'll bring in a plan for the property, requesting a rezoning so that that plan would be a permitted use, and then it goes from there. So if they come back with another plan, we'll certainly take a look at it.
Just one thing that came to mind here is kind of comical, but, on our tour, we actually got to see, I don't know if you remember, a few months ago, we had a gentleman stealing cars in the neighborhood, kind of terrorizing everyone. We actually got to see the hot tub that he, took a nice hot bath in while he was on the run. Kind of funny. All right, well, I'll let you continue.
Okay.
If
Then we had the Arietta special use permit request that we did last night at our special hearing. And you should have received a copy of this memo this morning. With recommendations. Mr. Arietta removed his request for the property on Snyder Road.
Kellogg.
On Kellogg, I'm sorry, Kellogg, correct. So that was kind of a new point. And the planning commission voted to recommend approval for his request on the two other sites, on Snyder Road and on City Road.
May I ask where Schneider Road and Easter Road?
Right on the corner of Rapid City. Road.
Yes,
Right across from Jersey.
You know where those storage sheds are set up on that corner, just behind that
I think
same
it's
property.
actually called North Snyder.
Which, now that you brought that up, if I may, North Schneider actually goes east and west. Chief, could you get that done? I tried for 20 years.
Yeah.
And it's very confusing. In fact, they'll send you the wrong roads.
Yeah.
And that's a 911 dispatch problem and also a problem for our community members. I've seen people delay their care because North Schneider doesn't go north. It goes east and west. Right. So that would be a great correction if we could get that done with 911 enhanced system.
Yeah, they do Gillett Road to Rapid City Road. I mean, that's pretty much.
And then you got-
passable two track unless you have.
That's right. Then you got side, Gillett side. It's been delayed of care multiple times in the past.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, no, that's all right. I'll look into that and see what's up.
I would make the motion that we, take the recommendation of the planning commission to deny the Gaylord request until such time as they bring a better plan.
I'll second that. And they are working on that too. They're working on 40 Fraser or something, I think, so. It's not going away. Anytime soon. Sure.
Roll call vote, Jackson? Yeah. Johnson, yes. LeFew?
Yes.
And Cost? Yes.
All right, I'll go ahead and make the motion that we approve the Schneider and Rapid City Road special use permits. And we will have to, we don't have to deny the one if he just withdrew
Yeah,
it. We just have to approve the two, then Schneider and Rapid City Road. So I'll make that motion.
I second
Roll call vote. Jackson?
it. Yes.
Johnson, yes. LeFew?
Yes.
Cost?
Yes.
Anything else from
You
you?
feel like Kevin or?
Yes, I will.
the only other thing is the short-term rental.
Yeah, that's, we've been working on that as well, and we had a little time last night to continue working on it. It's a very, polarizing issue. You get a lot of response from both sides. And we've been working since April on comparing and reviewing an updated draft to the previous draft. And we're about through that process. We have one more section to go. The planning commission, I asked them last night if they're good with the progress we're making and where we're at with that ordinance. And of course, Mr. Andrea was missing, but myself and the three other members were pleased with it. Unfortunately, it's probably when it comes to the board, if the board approves it, and it needs some work still. But if the board approves it, it will probably have to go to the attorney again for another review, because there has been a fair amount of change from the previous draft to the updated one. When you write an ordinance like that, you don't want a lot of extra language in the ordinance that isn't pertinent to, so some of that has been taken out. It's been reduced by 4 pages. Some of the areas like, last time we were going through fines and violations and suspensions. And so some of that was reworded a bit to make the language clear, and it was rearranged some to make it, fall into more of a chronological order that it would occur in, and that happened throughout that updated draft. So there's some things in there that have been changed enough that it will likely have to go to the attorney for another review, which I understand is an expense to the community, but
It would be worth it.
it's part of the process. We know that we're gonna revisit the limitations section on it. We just kind of skipped through that as we were reviewing. Pretty much knowing that we have to go back and come up with some limitations that are fair or unfair to everybody, however you wanna look at it. So we're making progress. We have one more section to go through. We'll do that at our August meeting. And hopefully we can roll up our sleeves and come up with a solution and have something to the board September or shortly thereafter.
Quick question for Mr. Packard, if possible. So are you saying the attorney put a bunch of language in there that was inappropriate, or
No,
you,
no.
as the board, chose to eliminate that?
What I'm saying is that the previous draft that was sent to the attorney for review, the attorney will review that draft. He won't rewrite the draft for you. So he did that and sent that back to the previous board that was working on it. The board sent it back to the planning commission. And when you look at that previous draft, you will see that it's available. That there's a lot of language in there that just doesn't pertain to short-term rental ordinance. And you don't want a lot of extra verbiage in an ordinance. You want it to be very clear and concise and to the point.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, he had his hand up first, so go ahead, Scott, just put this question for planning.
Has anybody on the board actually seen the difference in the two drafts?
Yes,
Do you feel that they're the same?
I think when he started with it, it was a combination of several drafts because they were trying to.
The actual
work it
draft
together.
from October of last year and the draft of 2025 is missing eight items are completely different. The mission statement, that's not important. Yeah, Dan, I'll agree with you. That might have been a little bit wordy, but at the same time, it didn't throw out half the residents that you're talking about. Item number 6.05 is a entirely new item that wasn't in the other proposal, and it was never discussed at any of the board meetings. Item number 3, as far as doing with fraudulent complaints, you completely rewrote that more for the people that are calling in a fraudulent. There's nothing to protect the actual renter. Item number 1.01, that this is an entirely new item that you added that was not in the last proposal, which had to do with, this is in all land districts, it's not permitted. Where that was never discussed at any board meeting, this is just something that showed up at the new draft, it was never there. It was never discussed in any one of your meetings.
Scott, good for just a minute, all right? Dan can.
I can address most of those issues if you wanna do them one at a time. I don't know that you have time to do that tonight. I will say that the last comment about where it said it was, what was the thing about all of this?
It's that
What's to say?
it's not available in residential areas. Item number 3.01.
No, the one you said that came up from the previous one.
The fraudulent complaints.
No. The one after that. The one that said it applied to all zoning districts.
Item 3.01, the fact is that the R1, okay, anything that in the 1024 draft, it said that the short-term rentals were allowed in all zoning districts.
Okay,
In
so
the new
there,
one, it does.
that's an example of wordage that doesn't need to be in there. Because the very heading of it is the Clearwater Township short-term rental ordinance. So it applies to Clearwater Township unless otherwise specified in the ordinance. So
It includes all.
of course, it's Clearwater Township. It includes Clearwater Township unless somewhere in the language
Otherwise.
it says other. So that's just an example
Mhm.
of something that was in there that
Okay.
didn't necessarily need to be in there.
I disagree with the way that reads, and there's no way that the attorney is gonna do that because it states that it's not, that you can't do it.
Okay, we can't debate the whole thing here, but I encourage you to continue to participate in planning commission meetings and that, but Grace, you had a quick question for planning.
When this first started in the township, I did a lot of research in it and no one was missed. But anyway, I commend you on keeping it short and sweet because every case that I read that won, it was because of definitions. And one thing didn't go with zoning and get the idea. But the biggest thing that was good in was they agreed, they would follow zoning, they acknowledged getting a handle with the zoning rules and regulations. And I don't remember exactly how the details was, but they were fined for like the first offense, second offense, and the third offense. They were done for 5 years. You couldn't pass ownership to somebody else and they'd be allowed to do it. So it's like 3 strikes, you're done, and then that was the most effective with the short verbiage and follow zoning. And they of course had to bring up all the health department, you know, the sewer permits and.
That's all in there, the fines and violations pretty much is the 3 strike rule
Mhm.
in the existing drafts.
Oh, good job up on that. I don't know what you're talking about, but I just want to put where my research was. Thank you. It was-
Anything else for the planning commission there, Dan?
No.
Anybody have anything for planning before we move on?
It's one statement, if I may, one of the things I've seen in the last 30 years of coming to these meetings is zoning is so important, most people need zoning. No question, today we have to have some form of regulations. And where my problem comes with zoning sometimes is selective enforcement. So no matter what you guys create, it must be ironclad, it must be a Bible for no matter whom the zoning administrator or your public safety officer is, or whatever title you ultimately come up with. If you don't have enforcement figured out exactly prior to passing this, you're gonna have that turmoil we always have, and when we just can't have it. And it doesn't matter whom the zoning administrator or enforcing officer is, he or she, The fact is, they must be able to turn to a book and it's steps 1 through 16 done. And that is the key to making it fair, because one of the biggest issues I have in the township is selective enforcement. Thank you.
All right, well, and I think we can move on to Parks and Rec.
Before we move on, I did check the minutes in March. Planning Commission presented us with the cemetery ordinance that they had finished. We never voted on it. In April, it noted in there again that they had given it to us to look at and we had not voted on it. So we have not finished it.
Well, I have a cemetery ordinance right here. Obviously, we're gonna go through it right now. But, I will, well, this has all been passed out to everybody at
Next meeting is
March and April, so. Have you looked at that to any degree or? It's time for, let's see.
All right, we'll have to make sure it's on the agenda for next month then.
Yeah, well, there is some other items that Dee was kind enough to work on too, and that we have a updated policy for deed transfer. Maybe these are all things that we can
Oh, okay. Do all at
be
once.
very prepared for at the next meeting, yes.
Would they go into the ordinance or would that be separate?
I think it's in accordance with the ordinance, right? It's directly from the ordinance. And then the other one was the cemetery deed transfer application. We can, look at that as well.
What's the cost to address?
The price.
Yes.
Not for transferring.
And lots.
No, we need that, that needs to be discussion.
Yes.
Yeah, we got that resolution.
We have two cheap ones.
Yeah, we'll have a resolution ready for the next meeting. We also unfortunately have to raise prices on our cemetery plots, so.
Did you have any input on what we're gonna go over? Any pinpoints or highlights in those that we should take into consideration?
Well, we just-
Going on?
Where do I start, Jim? I mean, over the years, I think Melinda's reign, there wasn't a lot of stuff entered in the book. Some missing bodies. So there's work to be done there as usual, but,
A big lack of paperwork for.
Yeah.
Over.
And even like filling out deeds, we should be making copies of the deeds, we have them, and after we don't have copies of the deeds, we just give them the original. That's not really, efficient. We've been burying people that, as a sister or brother of somebody that has a deed without, and that person may be dead. And so there's like no formal permission. I mean, it's just, there's a lot of work that needs to be done in the cemetery.
We recently, did one where we had the owners of the site had passed away. And there was like four children. And they wanted to take somebody out of the family or something and put them in that thing. So we had to literally, like, within hours of this ceremony that was gonna take place, we got a letter from the siblings allowing it to happen.
Yeah, and we've been able to work through, we've had about 3 of those. So, we've been able to work through it, but I mean, we could just easily just say, we've done it that big, but once we know about it,
I'm working on 3 right now.
Yeah. And I did have even a mom of, a gal and her mom died years ago. That somehow Wolf Funeral gave her the ashes or the cremains instead of take care of them, so she just went out one night and got a hole on top of grandpa and buried him in a box in a plastic bag. So that grave is now marked as do not poke, because you'll probably poke grandma. So normally you get 4 remains on top of a standard burial, but that one's just gonna stay, but.
In the short time, that I've been marking these graves, I found 2 people buried in the wrong spot. It's just that simple.
Yeah.
Since November, not that they were buried since November when I got here, but they were in 2021 buried in the wrong spot, so.
I'd really like to see if we have any money left over from moving stuff. I'd really like to see if we can do the radar penetrating. I mean, it just really needs to be done.
We were at Parks and Rec and we backed up a minute for planning commission on the cemetery ordinance, so I'll go ahead and let Grace have the floor.
Thank you. It was a
Raising
good
Dave.
meeting, most of it was to catch me up to speed, Dave, you want to about the butterfly house?
The Butterfly House, which will be here tomorrow at Heritage Festival, has proposed, a very detailed program that it sounds to me they're gonna finance it and, work us through it so we can become a monarch city or township. And,
Yes, up to 1,020.
yeah,
1,200.
yeah,
1,200.
yeah, so we'll work out the details, but they're gonna fund, if not all, most of it, and work with us. And so that was real positive. We'll be getting more details with that. So,
And, we're starting a youth group, so if kids from 10 to 17, 18, if they're still in school, I have to, of course, have their parents sign a form that's okay for them to do. Dave's gonna work with them and give them some kind of literature that they can pass out and about and hang up. The playground at Heritage Park, I've done all I can do, and I have given it off to the board. I've taken measurements, pictures, and a lot of reading. And in my opinion, it's not safe. So,
I have called Mr. Sinclair. He was unavailable when I called, but I'm assured to call back and we're gonna discuss options and hopefully we're gonna get a site visit out of them. I'm gonna push for that very hard and say, this is unacceptable and, you know.
if this isn't the same colors, but if you wanna look and pass it around. I have huge problems with at each end, it's in a circular fashion. But at each end, there's an 8-foot high climbing rock. And who gets that the state and federal governments above us have restrictions and rules to follow? The way this is, when it goes by, you look at the big great rock. You're supposed to have 8 foot and it clear, so if a child falls, they're not hitting their head. Yeah. And you'll see that there's an trap out there and there's a whole lot to it. I'm glad that's up. Yes, a lot of work. And, our budget is for the rest of that. It's like, it's $1,060 left, and I am not sure if that is taking off the Mosher's bill that you just.
You did also just get another millage deposit.
Pardon?
You did just get another millage deposit as well.
And that amount, do you know?
It's probably $33 I think.
I don't know, I have to look.
It's.
Parks and Rec has $21,337.
Oh, that
Well,
looks
that's
good.
at the end of June.
But I am trying to work, Jim's
That was
working with me on that to figure out how much of that money is already committed. For the rest of the year, where we stand at the end of it.
And does it, when you get that budget, will it state what it's committed to, and if there's certain things that they're able to claw back as well for, Parks and Rec?
You're referring to.
The budget, like,
Okay.
they can make monthly amendments to that budget
Mhm.
on funds that they have committed. If they want in a different direction.
The
Question. So did we see the original budget for Parks and Rec?
I have not, and that's what I'm.
And then
It was more like a wish list and it
Okay.
was like 4 times the amount of money that they get, so it's not very
So
out there.
no matter if it is committed, the board has to approve it anyway. So basically, the board can scrap the whole thing and you guys can redo a budget.
Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, to do that, we have to know what we're budgeting for.
You mean money or project?
Projects.
Well, yeah. that
And
would
it's
be a
just the
secret.
toilets, how much, and that's another thing we're sorting out is. Where does Parks and Rec finances stuff in the township? They're like, say, mowing, snow plowing. That's an idea, yeah.
I would really like to remove all those gray areas. I think we have work to do, but I think it's worth it to do it and.
We're talking about doing subcommittees for every park, like, you know, give an update on. Your thing.
Well, we'll be meeting, with our trail sense, representative and Josh to finalize where those trails will go, disc golf and mountain bike course. And then we'll get our plan for you guys together. And, we should be starting some of that, trail blazing within the next month or so, you know, we don't set it in stone yet. But then this fall, we'll be accomplishing a lot of things as we move forward with your guys' approval. So that's kind of where that is. I do have a check to present to our treasurer. Our dedicated account. In part. So we can get that moving.
It's 10 million.
Well, if I had a chance to go around the lake, I could probably come up with a little bit more.
The check, and who was it from, please?
Pardon?
Who was the check from and the amount?
Well, it's from me, $50. I think we could start an account with $50, yeah.
There we can, anything, have you heard anything from?
Yeah, we still haven't had, the Pittsburgh game was a real success. Kim Grayling showed up with her two top people, Leelanau County Sheriff showed up.
Coast Guard.
Coast Guard flew over.
Kingsley.
All the recruiting offices were there. Grand River's under sheriff was there. It was just really successful.
Leelanau County Sheriff.
You need to be commended for doing all that, pulling that together, thank you. That was awesome. All these military guys and,
Kingsley Young Marines.
and those guys, they're just all coming up. Shaking Dave's hand and thanking him for inviting him. They were so proud. Thank you for doing all that.
Thank you.
How many flyers got passed out at that game?
Oh, 1,500, and that was, thanks for mentioning that, we have a new one, which I'll give you guys. And I and Grace watched, we had 4 individuals passing them out. And I hawked everybody, and they went to adults. Did not see one thrown on the ground, not one thrown away. They looked at it because our printer and her design, they looked at it, put it right away, either in their pocket or purse, and it wasn't discarded, anything. And then the same thing is the Young Marines, we were in the KL, or the parade, Charity Festival parade, with Kingsley Junior ROTC, and the same thing, they handed them all to adults, and not one was thrown down. They were all read real quickly, it flew away. So, a lot of exposure there,
That was nice.
and, we have more activity at the park. I've been passing out things at Village Market and.
There's a notification email that park's got over 100,000 hits. Unbelievable apps, but.
Yeah, it's just, the word's getting out. I've been working hard at that, asking things.
No balling.
No balling. And, real quickly, the junior ROTC and Kingsley are all involved with us. So is the Young Marines in Grand Traverse County.
And then they'll work with the youth group that we designed here. And, yeah, those ROTC guys are just phenomenal. They were just, invited to next Memorial Day weekend to go to Washington DC to represent the state of Michigan. And they've only been, they've only been, in existence for like 9 months. So they're really, really doing. One of their girls is getting her pilot's license, so be coming back for the pilot's license here.
In a blue angel there.
Yeah, and so things are, we're getting a lot of people interacting with. I'm just rubbing my hands together to start getting funds together. And he says, once the BSA is available, she'll be able to get us online donations for monies being sent to Clearwater Township.
Okay. You mind if I back up? I forgot, at Freedom Park, if, Parks and Recs approved to take out the fencing along Reed Park and replace it with rocks. The big juniper bush at the end of the driveway is gonna be pulled out. Inspection needs done of that bridge. I don't think it's ever been inspected, and it does need repairs. There was a washout by the west side. West part, by the fire hydrant down by the river. Our next meeting is July 28th at 6 p.m. And, Dave and I have talked, and before we start any new projects, and we need to maintenance our parks. I don't know. No, we're under the township.
The township is a non.
Yes.
So donations would be.
It depends on how you, prepare your taxes. It's just like being a 501c3.
If you make a donation, make sure you specify
Where it goes.
That's important.
Patriot Park is notation.
If you go for the veteran, make donation for, or you can donate to general parks or any specific park. But, I would welcome ideas how to get the community better involved.
One quick question back here, Grace.
So when doing the sub account, you want it under the Parks and Rec bank account, but you want a sub account under that for Patriot Park?
Yeah, and I think at some point, we might do that for all the parks, you know, people live and go to a certain park, they may wanna donate to that park, so let's give them the opportunity.
We're gonna put it under the Parks and Rec bank account, not the general one.
Correct. And there will be a great deal of restrictions on there so that we know we're not mixing these funds, donated funds are for a specific.
It'll be just like separating the ARPA, the Metro, and the HUD.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, Dave, I would prefer the Veterans Park because it's all separate, right? And parks, I offer Parks and Rec.
Yeah, that's what she said.
That's gonna be a sub account under Parks and Rec, and it'll be separate.
Thank you.
There's a couple of real things, this new group we have going, we're gonna immediately get breaking up in our, parks down at the,
Lake access.
in Crystal Beach. And there's some stumps that need to be removed, we'll get a contractor in there to do that.
I got about 9 more at the cemetery too, maybe we can do a package.
Yeah, we'll talk about that, and then, they're gonna mainly rake everything up, remove some old fence posts, which we can reuse into other parks. There's some rocks that we can move, and, Maple Street, Cedar Street Road gravel, I think they're gonna do that when they pave. Some more split rail fence, some roofs that need to be done on Maple Street, some black dirt or fill needs to go in there. Birch Street picnic area pavilion, it's eroding around the cement base there, bad.
to the west side, we need to address that. There's a huge crack down the middle, it's not too bad, so we need to, there's different costs we can do to do that, that should be done.
And that's where we were thinking of, you know, this is huge. Well, maybe a couple of people wanna just take Maple Street for 5 or 6, you know, get together. Maple Street. And do that type of thing, yeah, so it's not a regular. And a couple more things I have to say is, the playground, other playground equipment on Heritage Park has to be moved because of safety regulations. If you climb up the side and fall backwards, you don't have your head in something. So, and that's spider monkey butters. So it's temporarily gonna be dug up and moved to save storage on the other side of the barn there. Until we know where all the sprinkler heads are and maps. All that, but it's all come together. In a conference, it'll come out really good and nice.
Any of these projects that are near in the roadway.
Which roadway you
They're
mean?
not-
I mean,
there's
like, if
nothing
you
in
can
the
do
road.
anything to any of these, the beach entrances or signage or anything like that, that's Metro, try to use the Metro.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's your side.
There's a couple other things to add, that's for sure, I feel important.
Nice to know.
On Oak Street, I thought the ordinance was that nobody living on the lake could put their docks and shore stations in front of any of our parks. Go down the Oak Street, the guy, you might as well think our park is his area. He got it all gobbled up with his stuff, which is totally wrong. He needs to get that out of there, my opinion.
That would be,
I understand it's happened numerous times.
Well,
This
he's
is
got
not
a
the
big
first time.
complex there.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's a,
we'll just say that.
I will say this, there is a history there between zoning and him.
okay, well, that, we can't allow that, like I said. My opinion, that should be addressed. If we don't address that, then why can't everybody else go along the other ones?
And I agree 100%. It's just that the board's gonna have to get involved in this one because.
I will have our township attorney draft a letter to me. You know, I don't know at this point in the summer if that would be something that you'd have,
It'll be next
but
year.
we should be very clear on it next year and no wiggle room.
Do you have pictures anymore? Or that's for,
No, I didn't, that was,
I mean, our authority ends at the water's edge, but his dock connects to his property, so he has to change the direction that his dock runs out from his property.
yeah, and you know what I think? You don't wanna put it in front of his house, so he has a nice view. He puts it on my property.
Have everybody's using the beach there, just sit on it.
Yeah, exactly. Come on over.
I understand that lake's 350 feet deep if somebody wants to hook onto that dock, you know.
We probably could use it.
I would never.
And then the drinking fountain issue at, Heritage Park. Stu is gonna get a new estimate of what we can do as far as using the same system versus getting a new, pump, new well for drinking water. There's some things you gotta go through. And so he's gonna bring that, I'll have that next meeting for you guys to look at. And, we are looking at, repairing the steps and the bridge down here at Freedom Park West. So that's about it.
good job.
I have one quick comment here, and, I know that this is kind of new to you guys and that, but, I would really appreciate a written report in the future if we can do
It'll
that.
be detailed report. Thank you, Jim. You'll have a detailed report so we don't have to talk about it.
Yeah, because when we look back too, we can just look at those.
I agree 100%.
I will take this out and get you.
All right, any questions for Parks and Rec?
I think the three most important priorities, Bob said it last week, we were talking about projects. To me, the butterfly thing is a no-brainer. Does it have to wait till next month? When can you do it? The lady said, we will finance if you create the environment that's friendly to the butterfly. No Roundup, we were there.
Mhm.
So basically, they want to make us a community that's dedicated to this, by they install milkweed, signage, advertising. So my exact words were, are you gonna fund it completely if we create the environment? So now it boils down to what I don't know about maintenance on lawns and baseball fields and other things that are important to our community. Do we have to have anything that would not create that environment? So the decision to do this could be made like, you know, if we were just sitting in our house talking, me and you, hey man, she's got to go, let her fly. We'll stop using whatever environmentally unfriendly butterfly stuff that we're using. I know politics is a procedure and all that, but I think anything that outside money is gonna fund, Rotary, all of that, that sounds really good to me. When somebody's gonna come in and give you money, great.
Mhm.
Knowing what their budget is, I think the three most critical things have to be decided by you and the board to say, hey, we need Freedom Park Bridge fixed, we need this fixed, and we need that fixed.
Mhm.
And we got a budget of this to do it. This way, the do-gooder bees out here that are all trying to come in with good ideas. There's a 5 year plan, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
If something ain't gonna happen for 5 years, let's not be worrying too much about it.
I think
Because
a lot of these
financing is
things
it.
are badly needed maintenance that has just been neglected for years and.
Well, I
so
think-
as far as being a new project, we got so many projects of the old stuff that, you know,
Yes,
we gotta take care of.
Well, that's my point, to prioritize the top three,
Right.
for example, or four. Because everybody always has a good idea to how to make the community better, and that's why we're dealing with a monkey bar system down there that we inherited liability. All good intentions, I'm not saying that anything was, you know, it's just now we gotta get that fixed, so.
Well, the village money was spent on what the village money wasn't intended to be spent. Because it wasn't intended to improve, it was dependent,
Correct.
so.
That won't happen again. That will not happen again. I have one thing to add to that playground equipment for, it's up to you guys, but I suggest you put more fencing around it.
Yeah, I located some extra. tape
Okay, and
and we have
keep out
metal
whatever the
fencing.
signs are, don't let anybody go in there, or we'll get sued.
Mhm.
Is the suit ready to happen?
One quick comment on the butterfly thing, okay, we got the banned chemical list. And we are only using Roundup in a very, very small few areas.
That's positive.
That's the only chemical that was on the
Good.
list that.
Good, very good,
butterfly
thank you for
was
checking on that.
Banned.
I'll talk to her about that tomorrow night. Does everybody agree that we should maybe go forward with this?
I think it's a great idea. What they're proposing is putting some, you know, signs that on the way into town, you know, welcome Rapid City or Clearwater Township. Monarch City type thing, you know, so it'll just put us on the map for a little.
Plants, attractive plants, native,
Milkweed, yeah.
yeah, milkweed.
Yeah,
She's got a whole list, she's an expert.
Okay, can we move on from Parks and Rec?
It's awesome.
Okay. Quickly on maintenance, everybody knows we don't have a maintenance person right now, so. On the hiring aspect, we have conducted, we had 4 applicants submit resumes. 3 of them showed up for the designated interview day. And one of those individuals suggested that we hire one of the other people, so there was only 2 people there that. Really kind of, fell into the category of people that we could potentially hire. Did background checks on them. We have not completed drug screening yet, and trying to figure out how to get the driving records on them too. I don't know if you've done from previous times how we obtain driving records. Call the sheriff, and that's it.
There might be a form yet.
There is.
Okay, so that's something new for me. I've never had to do this. So. Okay, current maintenance, obviously, myself and my deputy and Tim Lund, who is our part-time Heritage Park maintenance person. And there's several, I should say many volunteers who are helping, which I appreciate greatly, so, and it's funny because, as soon as something is not taken care of, I hear it from all over the place, so, I mean, you guys are doing a great job in telling me where the problem areas are. Okay, so that's pretty much it on maintenance. It's looking good. We're closing in on 2 potential people that will, I think, do good for us. I'm a little surprised that Craig, our former maintenance guy, didn't, he decided not to reapply. But that's where we're at with that. So on to zoning administrator.
First, what? I had one statement on, if you didn't.
On the maintenance.
Yeah, I think number one piece of equipment, I thought long and hard for this, and it's come up many times, we need an easy dumper for the back of one of our pickup trucks. The easy dumper will allow you to get free rocks from people that will donate tax deduction, easy dumper. will allow
We
you to
can
get
buy our
back
own
there.
gravel and dirt.
Gravel, road gravel,
Yes,
so that we can get donated,
Right.
if we had the ability to haul 2 yards at a time, get them at a time.
Bobby Underhill has that trailer, maybe.
Just hope, but an easy dumper, Jim, because then you can haul your tractor and your trailer behind you. You can go to one of these parks and bang out 1 or 2 or 3 parks in a day with an easy dumper, because you can take your tractor down there and the hydraulics just sure beats our arms. And you can dump it in the
We
back.
do transport our John Deeres all over the place.
Right, but now you got an easy dumper in the back of your pickup truck that has
Oh, okay.
hydraulics. Yeah, so it's hugely important, an easy dumper, not a trailer. That way you go there and you do the complete job, you bring the material, remove the garbage, and you win-win, and you can really do, I'm laziest man in the world, but I like to get stuff done fast. Because I'm lazy, and that, I'm telling you, that is the way to go from one of our 3/4, it'd be the 3/4 ton, of course. Best purchase you could ever buy, you could probably buy one used, or simple and fairly inexpensive to install.
And one thing just to add to that, as we're doing construction up at the Patriot Park, we definitely use one of those.
Must have.
Absolutely.
Definitely, but it's a great use.
Must have.
Those have sense.
Okay. So on to zoning administrator.
All right, first off, I want to thank all the residents and property owners I've spoken to over the last year. Those that have worked with me a lot, some of them were complainants and some of them were people that had issues. So I definitely want to get the word out to thank all those people, because I've had a lot of response, positive response. And that goes a long way, as Jim and the board knows, that we're not here to write tickets. That's not my function. My function is try to get some little bit of changes here. Progress is slow, but progress is progress. And that's ultimately my goal. Writing a citation is a last resort. That being said, there is a property that I think at this point I am gonna bring it to the board to go with the formal process of writing a citation. And that's 7107 Gillett Road, so.
On the way to the cemetery there.
Yeah, across from the cemetery. A little bit of progress and then I get stalled and then nothing happens, so. If you're not willing to work with me, I can only do so much.
I get a lot of complaints on that place, and I have been told the gentleman and one of the neighbors over there, but the gentleman that's selling those properties up on top of the hill, he's at the point where he is gonna file a lawsuit. Not only against the lady who has all the trash, but against us for not enforcing it, so. My opinion on that is that we should follow through.
So that's my request to the board, then I will start the formal process at this point. If you say yes, go ahead, then I have to send a letter to her and she has to respond within 10 days. And if not, do the procedure to follow.
Well, I would make a motion that we go ahead and issue that warning, take it to the next step, and, you know, we have all summer long contacted and worked with that individual to try to get something done. It's been longer than that, really.
It's been on a long going process, and every once in a while I get a little progress, and then things don't happen.
Just recently had a dumpster show up on Circle there at the.
So that was the second one that I was gonna address tonight, but I've got some progress again. on Circle, there is a dumpster out there now, and believe it or not, they're putting things in it. So I'm watching it. I know there's other issues in this township, but I can only watch so many times, and this is the one that, if it's not progress, then it'll be next step.
Is it a homeowners association?
No, it's not. But so at this point, I'm just asking for the one in Gillett, and then if I don't get any more process, but he spent the money and the time to get the big roll-off dumpster out there, so most people that spend the money to do that are gonna use it, and he is putting stuff in it. And as far as noise complaints there as well, I've had a few of those, and since the last time I talked to him, I've had no more noise complaints, because it goes a long way, again, talking directly with people, and I've talked with the neighbors as well. And as a supervisor, I went out there at 10:30 at night just to address that, because I wanted to see if we could stop it, because I can never catch them during the day. So we did get a little bit of progress, and that's what it's all about, progress.
Thank you.
We're trying to get there, and that's gonna bring me to the second point for tonight, our citations.
These are, we have, like a regular ticket book, you know, cops have, write tickets. It's actually the same thing. If you want to write a moving violation, you can do it. We don't have any authority to do that, but there are zoning infractions and stuff on here too. But the problem with it is it's severely outdated. This is printed in 95. This company doesn't even exist anymore. We tried to find out what it cost. It actually shows, P.O. Box 780, Kalkaska, Michigan, as the address for the 87th District Court, and it has a 616 number for them. I mean, these are outdated forms, big time. So, we're gonna do a little research, and we're gonna find an updated thing that we can use and not have to worry about being not in compliance ourselves as we're writing tickets.
And I'll check sheriff's reports directly to find an updated version of that. The one that I did look at, Jim saw, was $750 for 1,000 tickets. Yeah.
And these are
I'm gonna do my research.
pressure sensitive, 3-copy things, and there's
I know
25.
what's our deposit books and, our receipt books cost.
All right, Jim, we made a motion.
About the same.
They're just outreach space.
Authorize him to move forward.
Dave, for me or him?
Well, just in general, Allegra Printing has been working with us very nicely. If the board would want, I could ask them if they could do something, and they're very good people. And I'd love to get them some more business.
I'll see if there's a standardized form, which I'm sure there is for the state, and if there's something digital that I could get to them and maybe.
Yeah, they're great, and it'd be nice, because they've been very kind to us, and they're with more. I'm just throwing it.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right, there's a motion on the table I made to follow through on the Gillett Road property, take it to the next step. Step it up a little bit, I guess, is what we're looking at. So anybody,
Next step, right?
Michelle, second.
It's a written warning, it's a more formal written warning. They had a warning, but now it's a formal written warning.
There's a
I
time,
have to get the board's approval.
Can I ask a question? So you write the ticket and you give them like, what, 30 days to remove?
Right, there has to be.
And then if they don't, then the township pays to have the stuff removed and then you assess the tax?
That's the issue that I've been dealing with since I got into this position.
there's regular steps in the process. There's like a warning and a $250 fine and a $500 fine. So I mean, it
Oh,
keeps
before
going
you
down. Some-
assess the tax?
It goes to be that drastic. Yeah.
That's the first one.
Your warning, and then legal would write a letter as well. After you write a letter, then the legal department, our attorney would write a letter.
That's a lot. You have to still.
No,
I don't know if the attorney gets.
I just read it, not at this stage.
Not at this.
This is basically you as the board saying, okay, we agree that there's enough here to give the written formal notice, and then after that, if they don't respond, or if there's no progress, or whatever I deem necessary, I will bring it back to you and we'll say, okay, it goes to the courts.
I made that motion and Michelle seconded it. All those in favor?
I,
Aye. Anything else from?
Just to address the public though, there is an issue at what point do we get to where the township has to step in and do a cleanup?
Right.
So that's something that,
That would be a court order.
there's a,
Action.
it's a bigger process, but
We've done it not too many years back in this township.
it does not happen very often, but let me just put it this way, there may be a couple of properties that get to that point. Thank you.
Okay, next item is Public Safety Committee. I don't believe they had a meeting. Road Commission / committee meeting. Couple of items there that I just kind of highlighted, things that are going on at the meeting. There was a recommendation from the committee that we purchase and install, of course, the road commission does that, but cross traffic does not stop signs at the bottom of Hill Road and Rapid City Road intersection. We've had numerous accidents there. There's even been some fairly horrific ones. So I'm in favor of that. I would make a motion that we do that as soon as possible.
May I add to that? If you're setting on Hill Road, taking a left turn towards Rapid City, and there's traffic coming.
You can't see it.
If they're positioned just right, it's a blind spot, you cannot see.
We had a lengthy
In that
discussion about
line,
that very same thing. Yeah.
That whole. You know.
Poor visibility.
Right. They should put like a V in there.
Space great for vision.
Yeah, where it goes over farther, so you have a better clear vision.
We discussed that, if I may, Grace, with you. Andrew's looking into that. We discussed it on the committee, the road committee too. The problem is there've been deaths there, multiple deaths. And the problem is the vehicle that's turning right to go uphill road blocks the view of the other smaller vehicle usually that's going straight up past the crossroads bar. So in turn, the separation of your 100% right, make the right lane go over quicker. So that a vehicle turning right, go up Hill Road, instead of 75 feet before the intersection, 150 feet makes its right, opens that view lane up. So Andrew is checking into it. I made the motion. He's checking into it at the county level to see if the county will be receptive to that. Also, the right turn lane's not wide enough for stop signs and all that. So it's in works for sure, because there've been multiple.
We're looking for 100 feet.
And the road is a subdivision that turns to your left.
That's
It
dangerous.
used to be a
intersection.
logging trail.
Yeah.
You can't, there's no signs.
It's a dangerous intersection for sure.
all right, you made the motion. I will second the motion.
Okay, this is on the cross traffic does not stop sign.
Yes.
At the bottom of Hill Road and Rapid City Road intersections to include red reflective strips on the stop signs.
Oh, okay.
Is there a second?
Yeah.
She said.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Cool, really happy to hear it. Shellway Drive. Board of the road committee made another recommendation also that we inquire with the Michigan State Police to do the traffic analysis on Shellway Drive. It's currently a 55-mile-an-hour speed limit zone. Anybody driving 55 on Shellway ought to have their head examined and their license taken away.
The scale of 25.
We have some teams that's getting the road and pushing, it's crazy. It's downright crazy.
So anyway, asking the Michigan State Police to do that, I'm making the motion that not only will I inquire, but I will advance that so that we can get the traffic study done to complete the reduction of the speed on that road. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, two more, recommendation was made to put signage or at least look into what it would cost to put the signage on Arwood Drive to make parking available on one side of the road only.
By the law.
Yes. we have discussed this periodically, a number of times with, the summertime boat traffic is. Parking is on Arwood on both sides, it's very dangerous and. I'm really surprised there hasn't been accidents and, at least bump and go type accidents and that, but, I would be in favor for that, and I'll make the motion that we look into the cost of establishing parking on one side of Arwood.
Are you talking our? Trail. It's our.
It's our.
No, it's Arwood. Trail is where the launch is.
Arwood Trail is where the launch is.
Yes.
No,
Yeah,
that's Arwood.
and that's what we're talking
So
about.
maybe that typo that. a little
Yeah,
bit.
that's
So
right.
Arwood Trail,
Right.
yeah, Arwood is the Crystal Beach, so it's not going to the boat launch.
So is it trail or road?
It's trail.
It's the trail.
Yes, it's trail. Yes, ma'am.
May I ask that you include the end of Shellway that's closest to Lake Street? Because they do park on both sides there, and there's no way you can get an emergency vehicle through there.
It's a narrow road.
It is very narrow.
Issues for the fire department too.
Yeah, I'll go there. I'm going to
Okay, so we'll look into,
Yeah.
I'll amend my amendment to look into the cost of the, requiring parking on one side only of Arwood Trail and the beginning of Shellway Drive,
Be the
west side of Shellway.
That's.
by the phone.
Okay.
That area.
With all due respect, that's not appropriate. That's a road committee's issue. The reason we did our wood trail was as a test to figure out, will it work? And I agree with you, it could possibly work in multiple areas, but that's why I made the motion.
Okay.
Let's figure out our wood trail works or doesn't work. Does it work for the environment? Because you're parking in swamps. Does it work for the people that live there, can walk their dog through one side with no parking? And now you got people and kids can't come out between vehicles. I agree with your concern,
I thought you guys talked about it though in that meeting.
not on Shellway. We
Oh.
only
Not
made the motion for Arwood Trail.
Okay.
And then if we can figure that out and it works, I believe, no question, it will work not only your area, but multiple areas.
Okay.
And I think it could go back to the road committee because they are doing a great job. And last note on that is the Alden, Helena and other township has said Clearwater Township with our road committee has been in this board, has been supporting the roads of this township. And now we're even moving to gravel roads and repairing and prior proper planning prevents bad performance. Be nice. Thank you.
All right, well, one other request just for some information, and that was to get a price on the paving of the remainder of Kellogg Road from the top of the hill where it wasn't finished all the way to Plum Valley. I'm not sure on the exact length of that. I have it on paperwork somewhere, but it's on our priority list. So we're just gonna seek information of what the cost would be. So before we approve it, find out what it costs. That's, yes, I'll make, if you need me to make a motion.
Sorry, yeah.
Just recommend, get an estimate for the remaining portion of Kellogg Road.
You never finished the other motion, sorry,
Which one was it?
the limited parking on one side of Arwood Trail. You started to make anything and then
Yeah,
veered off.
well, I need to know what the cost of it is for first,
Okay.
because I can't.
All right, so we don't need a motion for you to look into the cost of it.
Okay,
All right, so motion rescinded,
sure.
okay.
Okay, we're getting down here. All right, I have a little bit of correspondence here. We have an individual who owns property on the north side of our cemetery. And this was no secret, even the last board was involved with it, and that is that there's a couple of burials that are maybe encroaching on the neighbor's property. And they want us to alleviate that somehow. No, that is better or something.
Oh.
Encroachment notice. Okay, real quickly, I'll just read some of the meat and potatoes of it. Upon recent property inspection, it has been observed on your property, 6833 with Gillett Road, which is a cemetery, appears to extend beyond agreed upon boundaries, property boundaries, and onto my land. This encroachment is a violation of property rights, raises concerns regarding adherence to local land use regulation. So she would like to have this rectified by July 31st.
That's
I don't think that's gonna happen, but these are not unreasonable people and confident that we can work out some type of an agreement, but
Has there been a survey recent?
well, there is a property line surveyed out there that during the Backers administration, we were told anyway, that property owners had moved the stakes and that kind of thing, so I don't know if it was resurveyed. But to me, when you look at it, it appears that the people are correct. You can just see where the property line has pretty much over the years been, you know, just the cutting line and all the, there are stakes there that have been there for quite a long time, but my initial look at it was that they may be right. We may have to have some additional surveying done and maybe even making an offer on a couple feet of their property or something on that order, just to alleviate the problem. I think that'd be the quickest way, and we don't have to move burials. So just bringing that out onto the radar there, it's something we're gonna have to look at here soon. The Mosers, the Port Johns, we already talked about, there's two extra ones. Pure Waterworks, I did call them, I canceled the service with them. They were kind of upset, we've been a customer of theirs for a very long time. On the other side of things, McCarter Culligan unit has arrived, they've already delivered their first thing of water. What I did is I had the Pure Waterworks people, our former water company, not do a delivery. Friday is our normal delivery, they're not gonna do any deliveries, we're gonna use up all their water. And next Friday, instead of delivering, they're gonna pick up all the stuff that's left, so we got 2 weeks to use it, I think 4 more bottles, shouldn't be a problem. I will say this, though, on the pricing of the water, the reverse osmosis was cheaper at Pure Waterworks, the same price at McCardle, so if we would have just switched to reverse osmosis water instead of the spring water that we were normally getting, it would have been the same price anyway, so.
However, there is a price difference. I don't have that information with me on the delivery fee
Okay,
and per bottle fee.
okay,
So there's a big difference there. Ricardo was
okay.
much less.
Yeah, and then again, I just talked to her briefly, and she told me, well, that is the same price as we charge, so. But yeah, that's delivery or whatever, so we won't have quite the same amount of savings, I think it was 350 a year, or a year. With the new company, so it might be just a little less than that, but either way, we got new water.
Reverse osmosis and not renting,
Reverse osmosis is a little cheaper, yes.
and not renting the tanks and the water bottles and the delivery.
Oh, you mean install for well water?
Yeah.
I think that's the ultimate goal. We need to look into the cost and installation cost of, like a drinking fountain.
And they don't use salt, so you're not buying salt, it's their charcoal.
For about $900 for one of those, you can do a drinking one and they'll fill you water. You may have to fill the side of the bottom. We're thinking about if we want to share cost of EMS at the fire station. They're about $900 to $1,000. They go to them.
Kind of the same thing we need for Heritage Park too,
Yeah.
maybe even our other parks.
Yeah.
Yeah, filter system over there, could do it, other than pumping into a well.
We'll keep in mind on the Culligan, though, we got 20 gallons free.
That's
And we got 3 months of cooler rental free.
Correct.
So there's a value there.
And we actually own the cooler that's in there, so we don't pay for that.
And as far as the, not having the hot water spigot, I see that here. They must have delivered the wrong unit.
Well, I think it may be that there's just a little defective part on the flipper thing. I couldn't get it to work. It was all really what it is. The thing is there, so I couldn't really test if it was working or not because it didn't work. But, it's just a little minor tweak of the plastic part to get it to work. It's, you see coffee urns when you tip the thing, eventually they wear out. That's what it is. It's just a little issue there. Okay, Renee Penny up at the Conservation District has, well, she got a total of 4 dumpsters for recycling tires. They already used 2 of them at the Kalkaska event, and they have one that they would like to put on, our Heritage Park property there. We'll have a weekend, we'll collect tires from the township.
How many years?
That I don't know. They're huge, semi-sized trailer.
Okay, thank you.
All right, then I think.
To avoid the, when we did it last year. And
Last year, they had the tire thing there at the township cleanup. This would just be tires only, because the grant was delayed or something this year, so it was not in time for our cleanup day, so this would just be tires only. Possibly electronics, but I'm working on that too. But right now, it's just tires, and that's August 9th would be the day, and generally it's morning till noon. Yeah, yes. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay, so that's all I got in correspondence. I mean, we can move on. Boy, we're not gonna be too bad here, but. Okay, budget observations. We need to move any funds or anything like that.
I gave you the paper.
Yeah, well, that was the last meeting we did that, but I wasn't sure if we had any more. It's the end of the quarter.
See,
I'm sorry, she had her hand
So I
up.
did notice that last time we did vote on moving that money from Michigan class, the previous ARPA, which is committed funds,
Yeah,
to, we're moving it to the, how are we moving it?
to the accounts where the money was spent out of.
Okay, from what I observed, it looks like it was all spent out of general fund.
That's great.
I mean, that, I don't know if that's a correct observation. There's only one that was like, is that?
Capital
Yeah,
improvement.
I
one
think
of
there
them.
was a capital improvement
Okay.
and possibly a public improvement. I'm not sure.
Mhm.
I was looking for my notes.
Okay, are we moving this from Michigan class to the committed funds that we have a sub account under general fund and then disbursement, or are we just moving it to general fund and writing checks out?
Well, we already did move a bunch of money out of committed funds, didn't we?
No, I haven't moved it to
It's
Michigan
still
class, it was like
Michigan class.
74.
Right, right.
476.
So take note that a lot of that is
Goes
going
right
to the.
General fund, that's good. I mean, so you guys think we're probably talking a different language right now, right? This is,
You lost me at the cold things.
yeah,
What?
ARPA fund.
Oh,
We got money from ARPA, $268,711, and what happened is. Previous administration did not account for any of it, okay, it's a required thing that every quarter you report, where is this money, what are you doing with it, what have you spent it on, that kind of a thing. And it was supposed to all be allotted, you know, before we used it, but what happened was they used it and then left it for me to account. Okay, so
they spent money, overspent money, and then we're using the funds to cover that overspending. They call it.
that's exactly.
that's more or less, yes,
Order mine.
yes.
That's
It was,
Well, mine too, because then it took all the money we had left to cover for the paper, because there were no more council.
as we mentioned earlier, the wording on the millage for those recreation funds said for maintenance. And yet they made a improvement purchase. So technically, they shouldn't have even used the money to buy that playground equipment, so, but we have to deal with what we have, so.
Exactly.
So anyways, long story short, we have funds that had to be committed by a certain time.
Yes,
Jim did that, so now we have a report that we have to move whatever's left of the so-called ARPA
yes,
out of the investment bank and into, or we can leave it investment, if it all stays in general fund, we can just leave it in
That's
there,
true.
you know, but we have to decide what we're gonna do. with it.
Yes, we have to get rid of the committed funds account and, but there is one additional thing there. I can't remember which it was, but there was one thing where there was some money that wasn't spent until the following quarter or something, so I have one more quarterly report to do of where that last little bit of money went out of it.
That's not a little bit of
I
money.
went to BSNA, that's correct, yeah. Yeah. So when we make
No, that was
that,
on there. That was on there, that was on that report. The 41.
We're on the 220,000.
okay, well, there's something on there that part of it carried over that hadn't been spent, but it was accounted for. I can't remember what it was.
Could it have been some tariffs, because wasn't the proposal like 89,000?
No, no, it's something that we haven't paid yet,
Oh.
so.
But when was BSNA committed?
In
Before the budget.
March, February.
February, yeah, February, end of February, we had to have the budget done, and we had already decided to do that, yeah. Anyway, there is one more payment that has to come out of that. I have to do some research and figure out what it is, but
I think we still have a payment that is gonna be made for BSNA. We haven't yet paid all of that. We paid a down payment.
okay, that might very well be it. Okay, so no budget moving is necessary right now, right?
We'll just leave it where it's at and let it.
Well, I
get
think,
interest.
yeah, we
Yeah,
gotta.
until I find out if any of it needs to go in capital improvement.
Because we should vote on it last time we did it, so.
We have voted already to move it, but it hasn't been done.
No, I haven't, because I don't know where to.
Okay, well, it's all on that final accounting thing that
Which I looked at, I have it, I looked at it.
okay,
It all looked like it was general, fund, but I didn't know the difference between capital, with capital and whatever else you said. It looks the same, that was the same.
I don't, they're not in there. I don't know where
well, anyway, that's gonna make our budget look a little better. I mean,
It already does look better.
yes.
Everything looks, I mean, we're doing good.
It does, yeah.
We are doing really good for where we're at.
All right, we've already discussed the SNA live date, is it August 20th? I'm waiting for the hospital to tell me they have a date when the conversion's gonna take place. And I'll just continue to keep everybody updated on that. Risk assessment that our insurance guy did here, I don't know, it's probably been close to a month, maybe 6 weeks ago. I'm still working on trying to get that all to you. A lot of discrepancies and not only physical things that are possibly liabilities, you know, trip hazards and different things like that. I mean, we went through every park and they found a lot of stuff. So I've got a long list of things we need to do. Some of our contracts need to be updated. We have people that we do business with, for example, McCarter Colgan, right? We just wrote a contract with them. Well, McCarter Colgan's insurance company should issue us a rider saying that we are insured for that guy, you know, that Clearwater Township is an additional insured person for that contractor, right? They come in and, you know, pour water into an electric outlet and something happens, right? Well, McCardle's insurance, if it's a McCardle employee on a property doing something wrong, their insurance should have an additional rider for us to collect if something bad happens. I'm sure you're all familiar with that and stuff. Not all our contracts are set up that way, and this is one of the things we did look into if it's part of that risk assessment, so. It's,
we haven't done this for the warranty only, but.
is it? Okay, yeah, I just was using it as.
Right, yeah.
Great. Okay, new business, we have an election August 4th. Everything okay on that, or are we all set for that and ready?
Yeah. Just two proposals, that's gonna be a quick, easy,
Mhm.
but
Mhm. Okay, this is not on the agenda, but I just thought of it, and that is, do we have any referendums or anything that we need to get working on? Any expiring millages or?
Not yet, we will have, I think there's one. That is expiring next year.
Isn't that the Parks and Rec one? Wasn't that one?
No, they have a couple years yet.
Okay, but it was true, 2026, when we went to the Arts and Rec meeting, when the county just had the big colorful Excel. I thought they said 2026.
Not sure on that, but it's something we need to just think about and maybe research. Okay, I have some information, the background checks. I can't just disclose stuff in an open meeting. We're probably, without the driving records and the drug test, we're probably not gonna be doing any hiring tonight or anything like that, so I'm suggesting maybe that we pass on the closed session. I can share the information with you, email it to you, the background checks.
Okay.
Well, there's only two.
Maintenance or?
Yes, maintenance guys, yeah.
I just want to say, one of the applicants, when you asked, or when the question was asked to him, what hourly rate would he like? He said 20, because that's what Spectrum's paying. Well, when I go by this place the other day, he's got a Spectrum van in his driveway now, so I think he took that job. So we're down to one, if that is the case.
Okay.
Actually, he already has that job and he's willing to give it up for this job. Oh, is that right? That's good.
Is that the Matt Wilson?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right, well, we can, I'll pass that information just on to us, email or something like that. Well, I'm trying to keep it contained so that, you know, it doesn't get out all over the place. So maybe email isn't the right way. Maybe I'll just mailbox or something like that,
So
sealed
once-
out.
Yeah, once we get that information and we get what time frame are we looking at,
Sooner the better, in my opinion, I think.
Okay.
I'd like to, you know, not have to empty trash a couple days a week. Speaking of that, trash, there's some really,
Jim, no, you're picking up the slack.
really piggish people.
I know what Craig was talking about.
Yeah. Literally 4 overflowing trash cans and probably an area half the size of this room, just laying on the ground, trash, you know, a foot or 2 deep.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Is that on Lake Street?
That was right after the 4th. Yeah, and I'm emptying them every day during that period, you know, so this is like a 1-day thing and. I've also had the handicap porta john at Freedom Park on Freedom Park East Side has been dumped over twice. So I just keep tipping that over. I'm trying to catch them. I sneak around there all the time. Yeah. So.
Where's the camera?
Yeah. Working on it.
Can we take that garbage and put it in the guy's driveway that we're gonna write the citation to?
Okay, any closing board member comments?
Oh, I just wanted to say, I appreciate everybody's patience in, dealing with my health issues. I know I haven't been around a lot, but I was online and it's been difficult to keep up with everything, but I really appreciate the fact that you guys allowed me to continue working even though I was not doing well, but I am improving. I'm glad to be back and I don't plan on going anywhere.
Okay, with that, I will entertain any closing public comment you may have. As if you all haven't talked and said anything already.
I appreciate being able to put my 2 cents in, and I think you guys are doing awesome job.
I think when we keep it to a minimum, it's helpful, you know, when we keep gabbing sometimes.
Oh, I have
It's
this
probably-
same problem. I couldn't
Yeah.
hear people were over talking.
I want to include everybody, but you know, we have 3-4 hour long, so. It's hard. All right, if there's no other public comment, I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Yes.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. I'm gonna motion you to sign one more thing.
Oh.